How's it going, guys? This is Artman239 and welcome to another edition of the ChatterBox series. Now, this one is just going to be a bit more mellowed out than others. It's going to be a bit more serious. And the topic that I wanted to talk about today was, it's a weird one. It's people pleasing, or if you don't necessarily know what that means, it's sort of where you try and make others feel better or respect others or do stuff for others because I for different reasons. Either it makes you feel good or you don't really like the thought of people not liking you or stuff like that. I don't know. It's basically just the state of making people want to feel making people around you feel better. And that's sort of the goal of people pleasers. Let's just start off with, I don't think that people pleasing is bad. I don't think that at all. I feel like everyone should respect others. My biggest problem with people pleasing is people's reasons for it. Now, I am a people pleaser. I fully admit it. But I feel like my reason for being a people pleaser is better than others. Now, some reasons that people are people pleasers, there are different. Ugh, different. Can't talk. There are different ones, and a couple of them would be like, it just makes you feel good to know that you're able to put a smile on someone else's face. Or maybe you're insecure, thinking that most people don't like you, so you try as hard as you can to make others like you, so that you know that maybe you can have someone to fall back on in hard times. And just like that, maybe you do it to maybe make some friends, just so you know that you have maybe some stability when it comes to problems in your life and others. And I feel like, yeah, people do it like that. That's sort of the starting one, but then people, if that didn't make sense, I feel like that's people's sort of beginning reason, like why they first are people pleasers. And it I've seen some cases to where it grows into different things. A lot of people use people pleasing as a crutch or as sort of an ego boost. Like, what I mean by that is I've seen some cases to where people do act as a people pleaser, and they sort of use that against other people. Like, they're like, well, I deserve this more than you because I'm nicer to others and I do more for others. You don't deserve this. Or they use it as an excuse maybe to get out of stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I've seen it happen before. People like treat others nicely so that they can get what they want. And I guess really all it is getting what you want. At the end of the day, like, everything that we do is for ourselves. Even if you are doing an action upon another person, you still have a bigger reason behind it that is about you, that directly involves you. And a lot of people look at people pleasers, and this was actually a problem that I had for a while. And people look at people pleasers and think that, oh, they don't care about themselves. They only care about other people. And like, I do agree that you should put yourself first in some situations. Others, not so much. There are some situations where you should be the main priority, but there are others to where if you are at all a decent human being, you should put yourself behind others. Like, let's say there's a drastic situation. There's a man with a gun, and he says, you have to choose who you want to die. it's you or your mom or your dad. And you have to choose someone out of that. I feel like I don't know about you, I'm not doing this video to judge anybody, but me personally, I would choose myself. But that's what I mean. And thinking about that, like, people pleasers, they do tend to put others before them without even realizing it. And that was a problem that I had for a while. When I was younger, I had some friends who weren't the greatest to me, but they were my only friends. And they would sort of make me the butt of the joke every time. And they really beat down on my self-esteem. And I would sometimes refute back, and they would get mad at me. They wouldn't like it. And so I took it as, I shouldn't do that. And then after a while, I just let them push me over. And then it got to the point to where I tried to treat everybody with respect, because after a while I got this unknown mentality of, if I don't treat everyone with respect here, then no one's going to like me. And it was hard, because I was more stressed about being around people than I am now. And then talking to some people, they let me know that it is good to be nice to people, but you shouldn't put them first all the time. You should sometimes be the main priority. And one flaw of mine is I hear advice and I take it to extremes. So, like, just that situation to where you should be nice, you shouldn't really be rude to others. I took it as, I need to be nice to everybody, or nobody's gonna like me. And then when people told me that I should put myself first, sometimes I only put myself first. And that was sort of what happened with my agnostic phase. That's sort of the main thing behind it. Like, I felt like my life needed to be devoted to myself for true happiness. And going with that, I felt like just a bad person. I felt like, one, I wasn't respecting others around me. There was still a people pleaser in me, and he was screaming, "Hey, you're being totally rude to these people. What are you doing?" Then there's the extreme people pleaser that is like, dude, you need to stop, or else, like, everyone's gonna hate you. And then there was the side of me that put myself before everything. Sort of had those three as like a continuum. And for some reason at that time, going through some stuff in my life, sort of kind of big stuff, but it wasn't like my parents were getting a divorce and like my grandma died. It was just like friends and stuff at school. Losing a girlfriend, even. I know, it's fucking stupid. But doing that, I would listen to the one that didn't care about other people. And it got to the point to where I would do anything that I wanted, say anything I wanted, not really caring about other people. And I'm not gonna lie, this past year, I've grown some enemies, where, like, I would just say anything I wanted to without considering others. Now, I did believe for a while, I still don't think that you should put feelings over everything. I still think that that's a terrible way to live, doing things based off of emotions and feelings. I think things should still be on fact. But I feel like this is a different situation than that. And that's another thing. Like, I was, like, doing a lot of research, and I came to find some stuff, and I became a lot more confident in my views in, like, politics and stuff like that, and my conservatism. And a lot of the people that I look up to, they they say the same thing. It's feelings don't really matter. And honestly, I don't really think that they do. But I don't think that they should influence like business and stuff and government, but I don't feel like that gives me the excuse to treat others like shit. Because while I don't think that their feelings may matter, I do feel like they matter. And I've come to a pretty good stance on what my people pleasing is about. Now, before I realized that almost throughout my entire life, I was a people pleaser because I was insecure of what they would think about me. Like, for a while, I got into, like, when I was younger, I got a lot into fashion. I would wear V-necks, I would wear I would wear colored skinny jeans. One of my trademark outfits at the time was like a black and white striped V-neck shirt and these like yellow skinny jeans. And people didn't like that. And I had a Bieber haircut, and people didn't like that either. And I let them control me. I let their opinions influence how I lived. And it tore me apart. And then after that, I got to the whole thing of I had low I have low self-esteem, and if I don't treat everybody with respect, then I'm treating nobody with respect. And then I went through about a year-long phase of I shouldn't have to treat anybody with respect. But I gained some different views on it, seeing how other people talk about it that I look up to, and just seeing how living like that can do you good. Now, I feel like a lot of people, they sort of take their actions in different ways. There's upfront people, and then there's long-term people. So, like, upfront people, they want, they basically look at what'll happen right away. So, let's say that there's like a kid that they don't like, but someone's like, hey, you should go say hi to them. And then you're like, nope, I don't want to, because it's going to take time out of my day, and it's a waste of fresh air. And they don't look at the long-term effects, and then that can lead to that person not respecting you back. And then I don't like to give in to gossip, but they can take it as, wow, this guy's a dick. I should like warn people to stay away from this guy. And then a lot of people aren't going to want to talk to you. Now, like I said, I don't think that you should influence your life based around other people, but do you really want to live a life where nobody likes you? Come on. And then there's long-term people. And with them, it's more of, I don't like this person a lot. I never really have, but out of common decency, I'm going to say hi to them. And then, with the long-term effects of that, you might get to know that person very well. You might actually be friends, and that's just one more rivalry patched up. Because trust me, having rivalries with people are misery. Yeah, you can put your opinions first, you can put your feelings first, but saying that they don't deserve it, they don't even get how I live. Most people that are like that sit there and complain when others put their feelings first. That's exactly what they're doing. They don't want to be respectful because they don't like that person. And then it ends up affecting them majorly. And I try and live it in a long-term way. Even though I don't necessarily like someone, I'm still going to treat them with respect. Because that's just in my opinion, the right way to do things. And back to reasoning, I feel like my reason that I was thinking about this, and I was like, okay, I'll admit it, I'm kind of a people pleaser, but why? Why am I a people pleaser? Why do I try and make others like me? And I was thinking about it, and I was like, not everyone is going to like me. I can't make everyone like me, and that's out of my control. But if I have the ability to make someone's day, or make a friendship, or make someone feel better, I don't want to waste that opportunity. If someone's having a bad day, I want to say, hey, how you doing? You okay? Instead of just walking away. And the reason that I do that, the reason that I try as hard as I can to make someone feel better if I have the opportunity to, or make a right out of a wrong with the right opportunity, is I realize that life is a lot better without enemies. There are always going to be people that you don't like, that don't like you, that disagree with you, but you can still treat them with respect. And I feel like that's a major part of this whole people pleaser thing. It's respect. And it's very hard for people to respect others, especially the way that people treat each other nowadays. So I guess the point of this video was sort of a message. If you have the ability to help others and treat others with respect, just do it, because it's going to do so much better in the long run. Even though you may not like it now, it's sort of like working on a project. Yeah, it may suck to do now. It's time consuming, it's hard, it's making your back hurt, your hands hurt, and you're tired and hungry, and you don't want to do it. But if you do it, you can make some serious money. And that's how I feel about respect. Even though I may not like the person and what I'm doing at the moment, I know I'm going to like it in the future. So, that is it for that. This was Artman239, but I am hoping that you guys picked up something out of this video. And what I want you guys to do is in the comments below, just let me know your views on people pleasing, if you have some stories about people pleasing, and some advice that you may have for me. But that is going to be it for now. This was Artman239. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys later.
It's there.
Peace.